last session of this landmark event, e-Uttar Pradesh. It's a last session, but quite an important session. This will be a roundtable kind of a panel discussion kind of a session with an active participation of the audience, and I guess there are SME representatives from SMEs and other IT companies are there sitting in the hall. So the mode will be more of interactive than a one-way interaction. It will be a two-way interaction between the key stakeholders of IT here in Uttar Pradesh with the SMEs and other IT companies. The theme will be technology driving competitiveness and growth. So, to begin with, I would like to invite the panelists of this session over stage. Session chair, Mr. Jivesh Nandan, will be here shortly. But looking at the time constraint, I think we should start with the session. To start with, I'll invite Mr. S.B. Singh, State Informatics Officer and Senior Technical Director, National Informatics Center, NIC, Uttar Pradesh, to please join us on the stage as an eminent panelist. S.B. Singh Saab is connected to almost every department and every corporate. Okay. I correct myself and extend my apologies to S.B. Singh Saab. He is a DDG NIC in here, and as NIC is connected to all the departments and all the companies are connected with NIC, and it has a huge base, not in the state, but NIC is everywhere in the country. So S.B. Singh sir is a very important stakeholder for us. Now I invite another panelist, Shri Dara Singh ji. He is Additional CEO, Department of IT and Electronics, Government of Jammu and Kashmir. We are very sure that Dara Singh ji have a lot of experience to share about an important state of India, Jammu and Kashmir. And I think it will be an enriching session with Mr. Dara Singh on the stage. And also I would like to invite Dr. Ravi Gupta, CEO, Illets Techno Media, to please join us on the stage and share his experience of years of working in IT and e-governance. I will also request the audience to participate interactively in the session so that we can make it an active and participative session of the day. As it's the last session of the day, though I think we should not keep any questions remain here. So with this, I will hand over the chair as of now, because GVG is not there, to S.B. Singh Saab to start with the session.
Good afternoon to all of you. Actually, it's a concluding session, and first of all, like to congratulate Elite, Mr. Ravi Gupta, that as a managing editor, organizing such a good event in Lucknow. For last 2 days, actually, there is a lot of good participation from all of you, and this is a session where we can what mileage, what takeaway we are going to get from this 2-day conference. And just before this session, Mr. Anil Swarupji was saying that that we should have another follow-up action meeting, maybe with some few bureaucrats and those departments who are doing something good work in the department, and should see what learning we are going to implement in our areas, like different areas of segments, which have been education or maybe health and education, all sectors. So with just I'll go for something what NIC has done, and what is our agenda for next another 5 years. What we are planning to do in UP. So first of all, that I like to say that we should have vision. Like what we want to do in Uttar Pradesh as a IT enabler state. Clarity should be very clear that what we want to do, and we are very clear, that when we started somewhere e-governance activity for last 2007 actually is a turning point for us. Actually, I feel 2006 or 7, that time actually a very privileged that I was there in this Uttar Pradesh, and the government bureaucracy has a lot of trust on me, on faith on NIC, National Informatics Center, that if any solution is given or designed by NIC, it has to come on the ground, takes off. So actually 2007 we did, first of all, actually we started that, although we are late, we said actually anything we'll do in Uttar Pradesh in terms of ICT will ensure that we add value, and whatever other state has gotten, Andhra, e-Seva, will do a rural Seva. We'll have some value addition. And whatever service actually e-Seva was doing, across the counter, you come at the counter and get the service. We say like not to come into the counter. We add value, digitally signed certificate. So actually whatever they have not done, we did ourselves in our Uttar Pradesh model. And it became model for us. Like digital signature, digitally signed service was, I think, was thing of past for other people actually, was even not been thought of when 2007 we implemented in the 6 pilot districts of Uttar Pradesh. So initially we thought, let's add value and create name our own image, branding, and rural people. Actually, we wanted to connect to ICT rural areas. How to make service, the farmers, the student, or even the old age people, the scholars, sitting in the rural area, the benefits will be driven through them. So with that objective, we thought that let's do something for the rural people. Let's connect ICT for the rural people, and certainly that kind of vision and the government support from the top, it has started working well, and we set a new standard of delivery of service, and we make system change. Now today we see Mr. Ravi Gupta organized such a event, very good idea. Good events are quite successful. We are getting good feedback. Why? Because industry participated, to their really from the heart. And how it happened? Like actually I said the e-governance activity, what NIC or state IT department and my subsidiary group like UPLC, UP Disco and Powertronics, all this group, we joined together IT department umbrella. With whatever we have done, actually in my point of view, actually e-governance actually gives a fragrance, एक महक देता है to industry, and they attract people like there is it gives a communicate and message signaling outside the world that something good is happening in the state, and we should come and invest or come here because there is a kind of a scope for me to do some business. And today most of the company, name any top IT industry, they are available here. They are present in this seminar. They made a stall. They participate in the seminar because things are started happening. Their products or their services are being taken in the use, and it's really given mileage. So actually, if you see the concept, that e-governance actually is like a tree, which is a kind of flower and fruits. And this industry looks, there is a branches, they want to make kind of nest, the घोंसला चिड़िया बनाती है घोंसला. जब अगर आप IT activity नहीं करेंगे, e-governance activity will not do it in the state, then they can't invite because they really want to establish. And then there are a lot of birds like in terms of employment. UP actually, that now today's almost around 200 colleges, 240 engineering colleges. There is a lot of graduates doing BTech in the state. There is no dearth of manpower. The e-governance activity is taking place. Investments are coming up in terms of opportunities coming up. The students are there, resources are there to invest into our state. So it's a very good, it's a kind of environment we created, and industry today joining, at least this kind of forum, Uttar Pradesh, the participation of the industry has really given a positive signaling. Energy people, those visited Lucknow, they've got a very good fragrance that, there is a scope for us. There is a scope for them to set up an office in Uttar Pradesh. And it's what objective, actually what NIC kept in mind, is e-governance gives a two-way sword, for this thing. One is the cutting edge technology. One rural area, we are trying to do service to the rural people. And industry, they feel that there is investment there is a change in mindset. So they come and, I mean, they are coming here and they are trying to sell their products or even becoming partner to the e-governance activity. So things are really happening. And today, if you see, what we selected limited field. I mean, they say like, you know, we want like some department, G2C department, those departments serving to the rural people, we selected first. Like first computerization happened, two computerization happened. One is the finance department. Treasury computerization is the oldest in Uttar Pradesh. I think for the last 1997 is happening. And today I can really vouch and claim that today Uttar Pradesh Treasury is one of the most modernized treasury. Everything checklist. All bills are electronic passed. Payments are electronic done. It's through RTGS money is transferred. No vendor or contractor of the Uttar Pradesh government. Today I think probably government budget is around 2 lakh crore. Is spent, 2 lakh also receipt. It's in terms of and revenue receipts in terms of tax. But the payment system has been totally modernized. And without visiting to the treasury, DDOs are raising bill. If the bills are in order, payments are sent to their account. Now I think probably, and then all transactions are logged into the system. And anybody can go to the site, the Koswani site, .up.nic.in. You can able to see all, today anybody want to see at the head of department, health, how much money has been spent on which scheme and how much money has been unutilized, need to be spent in the future. Everything is all total planning, financial planning, because it's a key drive force. So these are computerized. Land acquisition is one-on-one. Land acquisition for farmers. Uttar Pradesh actually is one of very old, entire data is in net. Anil Swarbi is saying somebody, you know, in UP, what changes we have made? That even some kind of rating agency like banks, it's not required to get any certificate. They have given user ID password on the site, they can log in and they can get verified. So this, changes happening in the, this is a kind of ecosystem we are working. A scholarship is one of our flagship project in the Uttar Pradesh. And today around 4 crore students are there from class 1. UP itself is a country, one of the 5th country, since morning, speakers are saying, the size of Uttar Pradesh is like one of the 5th topmost country population. It's a tough, when we, today if you can imagine how many people draw a scholarship, 4 crore are beneficiary, they are being a scholarship. And we given the project name is Saksham. Saksham has got many awards, big recognition. Actually, one is internally that we rural people, and many forum, many awards, NASCOM award, this innovation award, social awards, lot of things we have been got for, this innovative thing. That we say no middleman. If you see that kind of a scholarship amount, it's a 2,000 crore is spent for a scholarship computerization, a scholarship transfer. If the 2,000 crore, today we are transferring everything electronically. So actually it's not that somebody draw the money and then distribute and then all things happens, bad things happen, leakages happens. Now we said like everything, database will be in computerized, net. And it's a, project is one of the flagship projects of the Uttar Pradesh government. It's running from last 2008. It's a sustaining. Because G2C, why we are taking G2C is a public program. The public actually is supporting that kind of, because once the public joins, feels that there is a benefit, once become driving force, that is a scholarship is really helping me, and it's a computerization is really helping me. The public feels that there is a demand gets created through public, like because still there is a useful program for me, then say nobody is able to change and withdraw the project. So sustainability is through public demand. Today citizen is a major driving force. And their contribution, their demand is becomes they happy that the service is really, ICT is playing good role for them. Then it's very difficult to withdraw from, it's difficult for them to withdraw. So this kind of flagship projects are really happening in rural areas, and then slowly political willpower is coming up. It's that citizens get empowered like a scholarship or old age pension, any older pension. Today 38 lakh old age, the BPL family, below poverty line family, and their age group is more than 60-year-old, the old person. They are getting 600 rupees per month as a old age pension. Previously there was no proper computerization. Now, at least for last some 2008, we are doing for 3, 4, 5 years, and 38,000 database have been created. Monies are transferred to their, their account through bank RTGS. So actually that once the demand is created and empowerment of the public happens through ICT, then I feel that really I mean, that becomes, the technology is self-sustained. So only you take a kind of, a level, what NIC or through IT department, where technology has to go to critical mass. Like Anish Ravi is saying, make this thing happen to the critical mass. 5 district does it, 1 department does it, then there is a automatic, or 5 department does it. Any comparison done by 5 department, today I'll find that, they automatically, the people demand gets generated. Because the critical mass, automatically things will happen. It will take away to the sky. And you'll be surprised that, when we started land record, few projects like Treasury, and then demand was so high that, why one department, why not doing for me? And just like today, 2 days back, Excise Commissioner said, I will want to go and like VAT. The way you have done VAT, he came to our office, he sat there and said, I want to really, there's a lot of leakage in excise duties. And he said, almost second in any revenue after VAT. So he said, I want to computerize. So demand gets generated. And certainly, if it's a critical mass or its momentum takes place in a department, then one person joining, the other department joining. Today, I think that I can vouch that in the Government of India NAGP program, all mission mode project, whatever the 17 departments have listed, out of 17, around 13 department has joined. Their level of computerization is much, much better than other state. The kind of service are being done is much, much better than other state. And but still, there's no end to it, because IT always innovate, keep on adding something new, ideas, mobility, mobile computers, mobile devices has to come into the field, because people aren't having mobile technology. How farmer can able to access, how much money has been given, like Kisan or something, any service land record. So actually now we are trying to add mobile for all our projects. We are saying mobile devices are now being taken, into being reduced. So that now technology is a good adoption was being done by the department. Now things are really, public are benefited. Government actually also feels that my lives have become comfortable. Public is deriving benefit from this. With that objective, I'm saying that now today the pace of ICT or e-governance activity in Uttar Pradesh has really taken a good shape. Lot of things has to be done. Many gray areas are there, needs to be channelized. But I'm quite sure that another 2-3 years, with IT department help and the department vision, the kind of clarity we have, at least we can make ICT, lot of things happen in the state. And our objective is, although we started late, but become leader. It's a work with the speed. Many times we take up a department it's a food department are working now. It's a 4 crore ration card. It's all duplications are happening. All ration card surveys are being done. You'll find that all district message DS supply officers today for last 15 days. There is a campaign on all the villages in Uttar Pradesh. And they have been asking the farmer, ration card holders that give your bank account number, because actually when a full bill action is in place now, but UP may be implementing another 6 month time is given by parliament. That 6 months, within 6 months you have to implement in our state. So we are just getting ready that deduplication, like the bogus ration card should be out. And the bank account should be there, because if the poor guy doesn't get ration in time, then guarantee means he is guaranteed to get, rice and wheat in time. If doesn't get, there is a penalty amount has to be paid in the bank account. So we are collecting bank account from all the, the BPL family and Todai family, the poor families. So this IT enabled things, and we are working. It's a very tough, it's a big state, 4 crore ration card, 1 lakh village. Making survey, going to the village and campaigning is a not easy job. But then entire machinery, including the chief secretary, is behind that level. And I'm quite sure things are really working. Maybe 6 month time frame. Although a given time frame is end of this year, December. But March or something will be, certainly we're going for big database, totally clean database of ration card. And after once it digitized, then card will be available through our cyber cafes, CSE. So this is a change, and slightly sometimes I feel it's not easy. When you do any kind of technology innovations in the department, there is always some kind of, there is a friction. It's say nothing, life is not very smooth, doesn't go smoothly. Even I keep on telling my boys, life is not smooth. You don't walk in a slippery land, you will slip down. There's some friction is always good. Friction is good for moving. So frictions are there. Department sometimes they pull, because so you're trying to make reform, means suddenly friction will be there. Because you are changing rules. All old government rules, British government rules, land record, now we have made change, electronic delivery service. What is the Land Record Act? Says almost around maybe must be British government time. Now we are changing. Which electoral will be happy? Nobody. So they attack, coming, kya kar rahe ho aap log? Barbaad kar rahe ho. So all that message keeps on coming. And I'm quite sure, because now government has taken decision, government geo will be uploaded on the net. Without that, it will not be valid. I think we are the first, Andhra has the one, second is the UP. Mandatory that any government order issued or reforms taken place in Uttar Pradesh will be uploaded on the internet. And anybody can see. I think it's very good step taken by the government. And I'm quite sure if you see the reforms, the way IT adoption has gone, I think probably hundreds of geo, every department has gone geo. Digital signature is valid, electronic delivery service will be valid, cyber cafe, disconnecting office, every department issued a government order. I don't think as many order has been issued by government department in UP as in any other state. So this change is a beginning signal, and industry only watches. How your bureaucratic setup is there, process change is there, adoption of technology coming in the state, investment automatically gives fragrance, good smell, and they are very smart, IT people, our industry people. They smell it, they come to you, they start coming, I think, and then second level we adopted, that any industry comes here in Uttar Pradesh, we always find time to give them comfort, at least interact with them, what innovations they have done it, can we adopt it, because actually we cannot do ourselves. They have to learn, they're like MR. I keep on saying the all industry people, those who are sitting there, the software people, hardware guys, or data center people, or even security person. They are medical ready for NIC or IT department, because as long as keep on coming, we learn new technology from you, because they are the people innovate, and we integrate. And today we have created, my point of view, I think it's a good climate. Even other states where they are realizing, even including DIT, Government of India, that NIC, Government of UP or IT department leadership, Pramukh Sachiv is now there. I think probably should chair the sessions. Actually, आपके chair है sir. आपके बिहार में हम लोग conduct कर रहे हैं. So there is we are, and that this message is going that department ranks. If you give a ranking, World Bank also ranking wrong bank. Land record is one of the 5th in the country, something like that. So slowly ranking of Uttar Pradesh on mission mode project computation level or G2C application domain space, we are doing quite well. And this message actually is a very good sign for people, industry to come and invest in Uttar Pradesh. Because one archaic rules, British government rules is getting changed, new technology being adopted, public are getting benefited with this kind of thing. So actually yesterday you must have seen that 1.5 crore service, digitally signed certificate. I think nobody even dream it. Nobody can come near to this, it's a further step because population is not there. Secondly, that kind of rollout is not possible for them. They have not done it. Even pilots have not been done. We have done SSDG, combined district, entire state we have rolled out. And such a good service we have done. So that kind of message is loud and clear to the society that technologies are being, adopted, opportunities are coming up, and it's a very good sign for growth. Even public are actually getting good benefit from this, kind of program. Like actually, this Bombay, we got NASCOM award for social, scholarship. And we have just said that, you think alone only one computation of a scholarship and fees reimbursement to Uttar Pradesh, what mileage is given? It's you see that why child labor, why people drop out from the school? Because poor person family, BPL family, they don't get proper, financial support is not there. So actually sometimes they feel going to the labor is their parents force him to come to labor. And if child, how much he earns? 20 rupees child labor, actually from 8 to 14 group, a child actually earns 20 rupees. If he works for 30 days, he gets 600 rupees. If our scholarship program somewhere contributes 600 rupees per month, then they file instead of going to the labor side, they'll go and study. And that change is happening. And Government of India presented one case that how many even engineers are doing the BPL family, their father income is only 30,000 rupees per annum. And they are studying in BTech, JSS and KITE and good college of Noida. Because actually there is a geo change that any government, engineering college, they not charge extra money, any money from the, poor children. They will go and work with their token that they are getting admission in the KITE or some JSS, and college will get reimbursement from the department. So that kind of things, actually people are joining college, the poor person getting education, literacy rate is coming up, professional employment degrees are coming up in Uttar Pradesh, lot of BTECs are passing out from poor families. So this is the whole thing is change the village and bring prosperous society. So this is a sign of growth. That kind of competition we are saying, and this is a bring competition that private companies are coming up, whereas the public, rural areas, the things are developing it. Cyber cafe, I mean that's what Principal Secretary IT was saying, like 20,000 cyber cafes set up in UP. They are earning around 10,000 to 15,000, minimum 10,000 rupees per month. That kind of level as earning. Every 6 village there is a entrepreneur is coming up. So entrepreneurship, learning, if I start coming, ICT picks in level role, then I don't see that another 2-3 years, UP will be one leadership position in terms of like, industry growth. Thank you very much.
From SB Singh Saab. And may I invite our Principal Secretary to kindly come on the stage and take over the session, please, sir. Share the session. Please, sir, आप आएं. सेशन की गरिमा बढ़ेगी सर आपके आने से. I will now invite Shri Singh Saab. आप आएं सर स्टेज पर.
Good afternoon to everyone. I will share some experiences in J&K also, because I had been associated with this department for a long time. We had a similar type of conference in Srinagar also during the month of May this year. And it was really very productive, and I hope this will be too productive for the Uttar Pradesh also. We have been informed by our local entrepreneurs that after this conference, they were able to tie up with many other companies, and it has given them a great boost. So we are also, so they were asking us to have other conferences, such conferences during this year. First of all, it is very difficult to implement IT in government sector. There are various challenges, but no, the time has come that they feel that they cannot escape it. From experience, we had taken many decisions, like earlier we used to give to all secretariat employees desktop computers. Now we have shifted it to the laptop. There are many advantages on this account. Earlier when we used to give them desktop, he would say keyboard kharab hai. He will say because some excuse or other, because he was not interested to use the. Now what we have done, we have issued that laptop in his name, and we have told him it will be yours till you retire, or after 5 years, after his warranty is over, you can ask for a new one after and surrendering the earlier one. With this, we have seen that there is a great change. Now everybody is coming, give me a laptop, and I will implement the IT. So this was a great change. Secondly, and we have written in our policy that after 5 years, he can claim a new laptop because its life is only 5 years. So in that way, it has brought a change. Secondly, there was a land mark decision taken by our Chief Minister in 2011 that all the departments shall keep a budget of 1.5% for the IT purposes. But for the last 2 years, we saw that there was not an achievement in that, in spending that, or coming for various IT projects. So recently we had a meeting with our chief minister. He was taking a review of the IT department. So he said that it is better to chase one person than rather chasing 40 departments. So it will be better if that 1.5 allocation is directly given to IT department. Then IT department will be made responsible for carrying the IT activities. And we can have their progress from them. Third, first of all, I would like to tell that we have been attending various sessions for the last 2 days, and it is no clear that a higher average level of real income is always associated with a high proportion of the working population engaged in the service or public utility sectors. In many large economics, the service sector is the largest in terms of employment done. So the vision of the e-governance can be only realized when there is growth in information technology industry in the state. So the governments have to encourage investments in IT, ITES industries and skill enhancement of youth specializing IT, ITES services. I was going through the article of Mr. Jayesh Nandan, Principal Secretary IT, UP, who has also mentioned that the success that India has achieved in the export of information technology software and related services over the past decade is now being acknowledged globally, and I agree to it. The growth of ITES market, the growth of the sector has led to tremendous payoff in terms of wealth creation and generation of high quality employment. He has also mentioned about 2 sectors. One is ITES BPOs and IT parks. Besides capacity building of the employees, but I think we have to also build this skill. We will have to also do skill development for the youths also, so that they are able to fit in the industry or wherever they could get the job. No, we have these. We have this IT. I think there are about 51 STPIs, and we also have a STPI in J&K. But there was a demand from local industry and entrepreneurs, small and big, so that they can also fit to have state IT parks also. So we have identified 2 parks, one in Srinagar and one in Jammu. Srinagar one has already started, and we have been providing land to the entrepreneurs for starting their activity and other things. Regarding BPOs, we are still behind because of various reasons. We don't have this better connectivity, power, and then this climate. And we have 2 shifts only. As per our rules, we cannot have 3 3 shifts. For BPOs, you need at least on 24/7. Regarding capacity building, we have been also doing lot of capacity for the employees. But one thing we saw that suppose when we have their capacity building within the state, it was not much effective. I will tell you why. Suppose the person who came from a district headquarter to state headquarter, so he had some other issues also, he used to bring that also, so that I will attend during that training. So half he was towards training, half he was towards his own work. So we thought that senior officers or gazetted officers, we manage these trainings outside J&K. And for junior officers, we held trainings, but not within the district or within the city, outside, so that they remain used to that training. With this, I think you can ask us questions if.
Many views, all from whether it is private sector, whether it is government, IT professionals, whether it is sister departments. So everyone has heard many views, and we have had many sessions. I think these last few minutes, I will feel that if you have anything to say, please feel free and say something, and after that we'll conclude, because we have already had 1.5 days of rigorous sessions. So if anyone has to say anything.
Any questions or?
Anything. I mean, you can comment, you can put your own views, whatever.
Please identify yourself also.
Good evening. My name is Abhyuday, and I have a question for Mr. S.B. Singh. As we were discussing, most of the government data is held by NIC. It's present on NIC servers. And for the industry, especially the companies which are working for the government, it's very important that they have access to that data, a certain part of that data. So are we looking forward to having a policy of data sharing from NIC?
Basically, I don't know which data we are saying. NIC has gone for a policy that will not hide any data. Just like suppose your treasury, even treasury data or government budget or land record or registry, anything data is, we are not given in password. I think not only today, the success in UP, even a scholarship, the children getting a scholarship, number of schools, number of persons dying a scholarship, since day one, actually I'm a strong believer that without your access or NGO, social scientists will not access data, then what is use of digitization? If not been access to you. So I mean not kept any password. I mean if you got any specific where the password is there, any server, any database in Uttar Pradesh, we are the unique thing. Even land record there is a dispute. I was the only person opposing that there is not password. Even land, somebody land you can able to see. Is UP government implemented? But you have anything, I think a special we can able to open up.
Sir, what I'm trying to put forward is that the data is available on the web page. One can access it through the internet, but in person. But for the IT industry to work, I mean the companies to work, we need to fetch that data programmatically. So is there any provision where that data can be fetched? Like for example, the ration card records. Now if you want to fetch it programmatically, that's not possible. We are able to view it on the computer, but that does not solve our IT purposes.
because actually entire data copying, actually for purpose you have to declare which purpose you are saying, then we can take the department approval. Data is available, but we can copy and pass on that information, whatever you wanted. So
Sure.
we can possible.
Thank you.
Yes, anyone else? Let's say to bring in IT, not only in government. Government's perspective of IT will be, we are looking at, yes, of course, back office automation, our own departments, our own processes, they should be, make efficient, transparent, better with the use of IT. But that is only one aspect. Another is that citizen-centric services can we provide it to the citizens in a very transparent and easy manner. That will be another aspect, which is front end for citizen-centric services. Another is back end, office automation, process re-engineering of all government departments, wherever it is possible. Third is we are also looking at, how does IT as an industry help growth of economy of UP. So let's say these are the broad mandate. Now what you are talking about is one aspect of this, government, to make governments more transparent. RTI is all about transparency. And we have taken a step. We are in the process of updating and wherever required, changing government departments' websites. And one of the objectives is that we put as much information in public domain. And in fact, there are many things which we ask, which we get asked as government, or which as a citizen I want to ask from government, which can easily be available on the website. You are absolutely right. And that is what recently you must have heard. The government has decided that by 31st March, every government department, and I'm only talking about government department, not about the public sector undertakings of government of UP or other agencies of government of UP, but the task is that every government department will change, if required, its website in such a manner that there is a uniformity, and what you are saying, yes, we are trying to do that. Anyone else? You see, what we will do, then we will have one-to-one discussion on this. We can have one-to-one discussion on this. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? G. I think this is the last question that we will take. And after
in the officials who would actually use or implement those projects into reality. Thank you, sir.
Actually, that back-end department, those will open the tender. Actually, the digital signature, actually, last on 6 months, you feel that, I got a registrar here, who is digitally signed authority. We created authority here, and I think probably there is a pile of, lakhs of certificates has been issued to the government officials. And we are giving training how to handle digital signature. Now, by and large, I have seen that most of the departments, because mission mode and LDA, they are very, people are quite good. Even other departments, there were, PWD, irrigation, all tenders now. Actually, the World Bank also reforms, even Uttar Pradesh has taken decision, Prince IT also, cabinet decision. I think it's the highest level decision has been taken that e-tendering will be happening in Uttar Pradesh. Slowly, departments are joining, many departments have joined. So now the back end, we are quite, I think, comfort level is there. The government officers are know how to handle digital signature. Private party contractors, some small contractors have some opposition that I don't know how to file a tender electronically. So unke liye training UP Electronics Corporation is an agency. It's on government IT department behalf. They are training agency for them. So if anybody finds difficulty, we are giving training to them, and we have help desk to give support.
I will just supplement what he's saying. We have UP Electronics Corporation, which trains whether it is government departments, government officials, and as well as private, because when you are talking about e-tender, then one part is government officials who have to have digital signature, other part is private vendors and other interested people in that tender. So they all come there, they all get this training. And yes, everyone who uses e-tender, because today e-tender is voluntary for government departments. So whoever uses it, they are trained. Yes, yes. Okay, then with this, I think I would like to thank everyone who has been here at this time, and of course who has attended these 1.5 day long sessions and who have contributed. And let me say that the response from all stakeholders, whether it was private sector, whether it was other government departments, whether it was our own people within the IT department and different agencies and media, it has been overwhelming response. And I must take this opportunity to thank everyone. And of course, I mean, there is a core team which has worked day and night to make it happen. And that core team is of course mine, in the sense that my officers, whether my special secretary or people from state emission team or our consultants from KPMG or of course ILETS, where Ravi Gupta is here. So everyone has worked very hard, and I think I must thank everyone. And NIC has also been very closely associated with us. I thank everyone. And if you want to propose a word of thanks, then please come. That's it. Thank you very much.
Sir, I want to take the opportunity to invite Mr. Praveen ji on the stage, and our team of KPMG, Uday and Shrimant, if he's around. So please stage पर आएं. And I would especially like to thank them for the excellent job that they have done in making this event happen, and also invite our colleague Karthik and Mr. Anup if like they are around here on the stage. And I will request Jivesh ji to kindly present mementos to our speakers of the session. Please, stage पर आएं. एक मोमेंटो टू श्री SB सिंह साहब. जीवेश जी, आपकी ओर से सिंह साहब ने बहुत अच्छा हम लोग को इंकरेज किया, सपोर्ट किया.
अंत में मैं अपने प्रमुख सचिव साहब मिस्टर जीवेश चंदन जी का सब लोगों की तरफ से, डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से और जितने भी उपस्थित लोग, सम्मानित लोग आए हैं, उनकी तरफ से धन्यवाद करता हूं, जिनके मार्गदर्शन में ये कार्यक्रम सफल रहा और जिस ऊंचाइयों को हमने छुआ उसमें आपका सर मार्गदर्शन, आपके गाइडलाइंस, आपका निर्देशन बहुत अच्छा रहा, बहुत सराहनीय रहा. और हम चाहेंगे भविष्य में भी इसी तरह से आप हमारा मार्गदर्शन अगर करते रहेंगे तो हम जरूर विश्व में एक बहुत ऊंचे स्तर पर पहुंच पाएंगे. मैं इसके अतिरिक्त अपने विशेष सचिव और MD UPLC श्री GS नवीन कुमार जी का भी बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं, जिन्होंने सर एक मिनट के लिए सर, जिन्होंने दिन रात 24 घंटे पिछले 12 दिन में ये आयोजन किया गया. और यू विल नॉट बिलीव इट कि रात में 4 बजे भी आपका SMS आता था कि ये काम छुटा हुआ है, यू हैव टू परफॉर्म दिस. इतने अच्छे अधिकारियों के द्वारा अगर आपको मार्गदर्शन मिलता है तो निश्चित